During this pandemic, it's possible you've spent your time curled up with a good book, and we have some really great local bookstores around the valley. Well, today, as part of Hispanic Heritage Month, our Iris Hermosillo takes you to a bookstore where you're going to find books that you may not have otherwise discovered, and a place that keeps community at the heart of its business.
Palabras means words in Spanish, and you'll find thousands of them inside Palabras Bilingual Bookstore in Phoenix. The concept inspired by a traveling bookstore / art installation designed to bring Spanish language books into growing Hispanic communities. It was the type of place owner and Tempe native Rosaura Magaña wanted to create for her own community.
It sparked something in me because I'm first generation Mexican American. So it made me think of my parents and having a space where I can feel like I belong there and our families can feel like they belong there. And so that evolved into what we have now.
Inside, you'll find familiar titles like Buenas Noches Luna or Goodnight Moon, books written in English and in Spanish about different cultures and cuisines and anything from science fiction to thrillers. But you'll also find there's an emphasis on creating a space where people who may be underrepresented elsewhere can see themselves in the pages.
It's important for kids to be able to see themselves in the stories that they read. And so that's why I try to make that a focus here.
According to the Pew Research Center, 31% of Arizona's population is Hispanic. And Magaña says books need to be a reflection of our changing demographic.
Opening people up to different cultures and concepts and kind of helping people reimagine what our communities can look like.
But it's not just about the stories between the covers. It's also about supporting writers who are Black, Indigenous, and people of color, especially in an industry that still lacks diversity.
And I wanted to be able to provide that platform for communities of color to feel like their voice matters and to give them a space to share and to grow and to create a strong, resilient community.
According to a 2019 study done by Lee and Low Books, the largest multicultural book publisher in the country, 76% of people in the publishing industry identify as white. So with that in mind, Magaña says she picks books and authors that you may not necessarily find on national best-selling lists, and instead ones that help expand perspectives and that feature accurate depictions of history and the experiences of marginalized communities. Something she says she's noticed other bookstores are finally starting to do too.
I hope that this keeps growing and evolving and more people start being conscious about that and trying to, expand their horizons with what they're reading and what they're absorbing in other forms too.
Magaña says she wants her bookstore to be a place that bridges the gap between the publishing industry and communities of color, but mostly she wants it to be a place that brings people together.
Just because you feel the connection to the community and to what you're doing and you see it come to fruition and you realize like absolutely anything is possible.
I'm Iris Hermosillo, ABC 15 Arizona. And Magaña also tells me that the space really is more than just a bookstore. They host a Women of Color virtual book club and open mic sessions as well. And they collaborate with local organizations to help folks in need in our local community. So the ultimate goal is to keep everyone connected and engaged. Now, Palabras is currently open just for appointments and online ordering, considering the current COVID situation. They also offer curbside pickup, and you can find all of those details on our website. You can also find all of our Hispanic Heritage Month stories by going to abc15.com or on your favorite streaming device. So I want to thank her so much for taking the time to show us around her bookstore. I love finding those gems in our community, right? Hey,